Hello YouTube. I have finished reading through the Ugaritic texts, and I'm sure it won't be the last time. And while I was a little disappointed in the amount of material that I was able to find to make another video, I'll present what I found. First, I think it was the first segment, I mentioned El being referred to as the father of years, and somewhat an equation to that in Genesis. God is referred to as El Olam, the everlasting God. There's also a few more passages that I've found which provide some more evidence of similar epithets being attributed to the God of the Hebrew Bible. This is in Job 36:26. Surely El is great, and we do not know him. The number of his years is unsearchable. And this is from Psalm 102:24. O my El, I say, do not take me away at the midpoint of my life, you whose years endure throughout all generations. And this is from Daniel 7:9. As I looked, thrones were placed, and the Ancient of Days took his seat. His clothing was white as snow, and the hair of his head like pure wool. His throne was fiery flames, its wheels were burning fire. So, like the Ugaritic text, we have the idea of God being an ancient God. We also have information regarding the dwelling place of El. This is in response to a character called Carrot. And the bull El, his father, answered, You, there's a lacuna here, by weeping Carrot, by shedding tears, gracious one, page of El, do you wash and redle yourself, wash your hands to the elbow, your fingers to the shoulder, enter into the shade of the tent. So, the dwelling place of El is a tent. Now, this is in 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 17, and chapter 7, verses 1 through 6. They brought in the ark of Yahweh and set it in its place inside the tent that David had pitched for it. And David offered burnt offerings and offerings of well-being before Yahweh. Now, when the king was settled in his house, and Yahweh had given him rest from all his enemies around him, the king said to the prophet Nathan, See now, I am living in a house of cedar, but the ark of Elohim stays in a tent. Nathan said to the king, Go, do all that you have in mind, for Yahweh is with you. But that same night the word of Yahweh came to Nathan, Go and tell my servant David, Thus says Yahweh, Are you the one to build me a house to live in? I have not lived in a house since the day I brought up the people of Israel from Egypt to this day, but I have been moving about in a tent and a tabernacle. The dwelling of Yahweh, to this point, is a tent. There's also information in the account of Carrot regarding the relationship that El sees that he has with his creations. And in his dream, El came down, in his vision, the father of mankind, and he drew near to Carrot, asking him, What ails Carrot that he weeps? The gracious one, page of El, that he sheds tears. Does he wish for the kingship of the bull his father, or dominion as of the father of mankind? This is in Deuteronomy 32, verse 6. Do you thus repay Yahweh, O foolish and senseless people? Is not he your father who created you, who made you and established you? So Yahweh, like El, is the creator and the father of mankind. There's also multiple accounts of dreams in different Ugaritic texts. This is again from the account of Ugarit. He entered into his chamber weeping. As he repeated his tale of woe, he shed tears. His tears streamed down like shekels to the ground, like pieces of 5 upon his bed. As he wept, he fell asleep. As he shed tears, there was slumber. Sleep overpowered him, and he lay down. Slumber overpowered him, and he curled up. And in his dream, El came down. So it's through the dream that he almost conjures a response from El. And this is what this book refers to as an incubation dream. And I'll provide an explanation for that term and also another account of such a dream in the story of Daniel. Here's a definition regarding an incubation dream. There is also a type of dream that seems to be invited by the dreamer, who attempts to impose his will on God. In this variation, the dreamer goes to a particular spot considered to be sacred, offers sacrifices to God, and falls asleep in the holy place, hoping he will be visited by him in a dream. And while the account of Ugarit, it was meant to provoke a response from El, the account of Daniel is meant to conjure a response from Baal. Now, this has several lacunas and it repeats itself, so I'll just repeat the important parts. Therefore, Daniel, man of Rapu, thereat the hero, man of he of Harnam, gave the gods something to eat, gave the holy ones something to drink. He put aside his cloak, he ascended and lay down. He put aside his loincloth, and so he passed the night. And he continues to do this for 6 days. Then, on the 7th day, Baal drew near with his supplication. The misery of Daniel, man of Rapu, the groaning of the hero, man of he of Harnam, for he has no son like his brothers, nor offspring like his kinsmen. So he offered food and drink to the gods and received a response. This is from 1 Kings chapter 3, verses 3 through 5. Solomon loved Yahweh, walking in the statutes of his father David. Only he sacrificed and offered incense at the high places. The king went to Gibeon to sacrifice there, for that was the principal high place. Solomon used to offer 1,000 burnt offerings on that altar. At Gibeon, Yahweh appeared to Solomon in a dream by night, and Elohim said, "Ask what I should give you." So it's almost the exact same scenario as the story of Daniel, but in this case, Solomon conjures a response from Yahweh. And I think this same type of thing is also alluded to in Psalm 17. This is from verses 1 through 3 and verse 15. Hear a just cause, O Yahweh, attend to my cry. Give ear to my prayer from lips free of deceit. From you let my vindication come. Let your eyes see the right. If you try my heart, if you visit me by night, if you test me, you will find no wickedness in me. My mouth does not transgress. As for me, I shall behold your face in righteousness. When I awake, I shall be satisfied, beholding your likeness. So these are the parallels between the El of Ugarit and also El and Yahweh in the Hebrew Bible. So I hope this has been useful, and if this was trying to find parallels between Yahweh and Baal, this would have been a much easier task.